Welcome. In this clip, we will talk about Attack on Titan. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe and like the clip. Let's go. The entire Attack on Titan timeline explained. Attack on Titan initially seems like a simple story. The setup of both Hajime Isayama's original manga and the anime adaptation is that for a century, humanity has lived behind three walls to protect them from the man-eating monsters, or titans, outside. The main characters are part of the military designed to repel or attack these titans. It's not far off from a zombie apocalypse, only much worse than usual because the zombies are kaiju-sized. As the series goes on and the twists pile up, the series' mythology becomes much denser and the narrative more complex. Attack on Titan is always a war story, but along the way, it morphs from a man versus monster story where the only goal is survival into a political story where humankind's greatest enemy is itself. The title of the opening chapter, To You in 2,000 Years, hints at this grand tapestry right off the bat. A theme of Attack on Titan is myths and how is they're passed down across generations. The truth is distorted along the way. Let's deconstruct these myths and lay out the Attack on Titan timeline, from beginning to end. To You in 2,000 Years. The story of the Titans begins over 1800 years before the aforementioned premiere is set. The first Titan, a young girl named Ymir, once lived a provincial life in a small village. Everything changed when a warrior tribe called the Eldians attacked. The villagers were either killed or enslaved. Ymir was one of the lucky latter ones. In the year 1003 Ymir let her master's pigs escape. The Eldian king Fritz set her free but commanded his warriors to hunt her like an animal. The injured Ymir took refuge in an enormous tree where she fell into a pool of water. She might have drowned if not for a mysterious creature resembling a cross between a centipede and disembodied nervous system. The creature bonded with Ymir, turning her into the first Titan. Ymir's transformation spared her life, but she was still a slave. For the next 13 years, she joined conquests in King Fritz's name, bringing nations, including the seafaring Marlians, to heal with her power. She also became the king's concubine, bearing him 3 daughters, Rose, Maria, and Sheena. Before we continue, let's talk about the real-world parallels. The brutal state of the ancient AOT world resembles the Viking Age. The Eldians' outfits and culture are modeled on Germanic and Nordic tribes, while the ancient Marlians seem more Greco-Roman. The Eldians' conquest of Marlians is like the fall of Rome, only the Visigoths probably didn't have a giant woman helping them. Ymir's own name is taken from the first giant of Norse mythology, while the tree where she is transformed is analogous to Yggdrasil, the tree which binds the 9 realms in Norse myths. Era of the Eldian Empire. 13 years after Ymir became a Titan, she was killed saving Fritz from assassination by Marlians. To preserve her power, Fritz fed her remains to their daughters. Filtered through generations, 9 distinct Titans emerged. Ymir's own power became called the Founding Titan and was passed down through her and Fritz's direct descendants. Only those of royal blood can wield its powers. There are 8 others: the Attack Titan, the Armored Titan, the Colossal Titan, the Female Titan, the Jaw Titan, the Cart Titan, the Beast Titan, and the Warhammer Titan. Implicitly due to Ymir's own premature death, holders of Titan powers expire after 13 years. This resulted in ritualistic inheritance by way of cannibalism. For the next millennium plus, the Eldians ruled the world with the power of Titans. The 9 are distributed among Eldian nobles while pure Titans become shock troops. Nations are either enslaved, like Marley, or become subordinate allies, such as Hizuru. Particular events during the Eldian Empire's reign include an Eldian blitzkrieg against Marley in 371 B1 and a plague outbreak in year 240. The current Eldian king alters his people's biology with the Founding Titan's power, making them immune. This time span also sees the birth of the Ackerman clan, who thanks to scientific experimentation are super soldiers in human form and become the royal family's bodyguards. Centuries of uncontested Eldian rule led to civil war, where the holders of the 9 vied for dominance. This great Titan war spelled the Empire's end. Fall of the Eldians. The 145th Eldian king, Karl Fritz, is aghast by his people's legacy of violence and the suffering they've caused. To repent, he decides to orchestrate his own empire's fall. The king conspires in secret with the Tiber family, holders of the Warhammer Titan. Fritz and the Tibers fabricate a story about a Marlian named Helos slaying the devil of all Earth, the imagined Marlian version of the creature which gave Ymir her power. The Tibers then side with Marley against the remaining Eldian houses, while Fritz takes the royal family and many other Eldians to the island Paradies. Using the founder's power, he creates millions of colossal Titans who together form 3 walls: Maria, Rose, and Sheena. The Titan's hardening ability gives the walls the appearance of the stone. These walls are to keep both other nations out and the Eldians in. Playing the part of a sore loser, Fritz warns the world that if they come to Paradies, he will break down the walls and unleash the colossal Titans on the world. In truth, This is an empty threat to make sure no Eldians venture outside the walls. Fritz erases his people's collective memory, making them believe they're the last of humanity, and the pure titans outside the walls eradicated everyone else. Not all of those inside the walls have their memories erased. The Ackermans prove immune, as does the family of a Hizuru shogun who came to Paradise. These clans are then hunted to near extinction. The Walls of Paradise. Meanwhile, the royal family goes underground, placing a puppet king on the throne while they rule in secret as the Rias family. For the next century, the founding titan and the memories of its holders are passed down through the Rias family. Its holders thus inherit not just Karl Fritz's power, but also his pacifist ideology, ensuring that none of them ever said lose the Wall Titans to rebuild the empire. A military is established within the walls, made up of 3 branches: the military police, the garrison corps, and the survey corps Aka Scout Regiment. In the years 778–793, Angel Altonen and Xenophon Harkimo develop omnidirectional mobility gear, a gas-propelled grappling harness that enables Survey Corps members to fight Titans. It's also during this century that the main characters in Attack on Titan are born. For one, the Ackerman clan barely endures. In year 829, one of the last Ackermans, Kenny, befriends Yuri Rias. Kenny assumes the role of his ancestors as the royal family's bodyguard. Kenny then discovers his sister Kuchel died while working in a brothel and adopts her son Levi. Levi eventually abandons his uncle to become a street criminal. In 83, Rodrius fathers an illegitimate daughter, Historia. The same year, another Ackerman marries a descendant of the Hizuru clan, merging the 2 bloodlines in their daughter Mikasa. Mikasa's parents are killed by slave traders in 844, but she is saved by a boy her age, Eren Yeager. The Yeagers adopt Mikasa, but there's more to this family than meets the eye. Outside the walls, while the world stayed static within Paradise's walls, it didn't outside. With Marley now in possession of 7 out of the 9 Titans, they become the world's new superpower. Helos and the Devil of all Earth go from myth to history, while the Eldians left outside Paradise are pushed into internment zones, forced to wear identifying armbands, and treated as second-class citizens at best and vermin at worst. The Marlians keep the Eldians around for use in their warrior program. Eldian children who inherit Titan powers and serve in Marley's military earn citizenship for themselves and their families. Defiant Eldians are punished by being sent to Paradise Island and transformed into the pure Titans menacing their cousins inside the wall. In 785, Eldians called the Cult of Ymir, including a young girl named after the founder, suffer this fate. In 806, Eldian Grisha Yeager is born in the Liberio internment zone. In 817, his younger sister Faye is killed by Marlion's guards, pushing Grisha to join the Eldian restorationist movement. In 824, Grisha marries Dina Fritz, the last royal Eldian outside the walls, and has a son with her, Zeke. In 825, the Yeagers push Zeke to become a warrior, but at the advice of his mentor Tom K. Saver, Zeke sells his parents out in 832. All the restorationists bar Grisha are made into Titans on Paradise. Grisha is saved by Marlion officer Kruger, a secret Eldian and holder of the attack Titan. Kruger passes the attack Titan to Grisha and sends him to the walls to claim the founding Titan from the Rias family. Between 832 and 835, Grisha marries Carla Yeager and becomes the doctor in Shiganshina, an outlying district of Wall Maria. New warriors. Back in Marley, the government begins to plot the invasion of Paradise, both to claim the founding Titan and the island's resources. Zeke inherits the Beast Titan from K. Saver in 842 and leads the next generation of warriors. Selected the following year, Annie Leonhardt the female Titan, Rhiannon Braun the armored Titan, Berthold Hoover the colossal Titan, Pike Finger the card Titan, and Marcel Galliard the jaw Titan. In 844, Levi joins the Survey Corps alongside his friends Isabel Magnolia and Ferland Church. The latter two are killed by Titans during the 23rd Exterior Scouting Mission. Levi's closest friends become Survey Corps Commander Erwin Smith and his fellow recruit the giddy, Titan-obsessed mad scientist Hange Zoe. In 845, Rhiannon, Annie, Berthold, and Marcel are sent to Paradise to begin the invasion. Before they reach the walls, the pure Titan that was once Ymir attacks them and eats Marcel. Ymir inherits the power of the Jaw Titan and regains her human form. But the warriors run away before they can witness this. Annie and Berthold consider abandoning the mission, but Rhiannon implores them to push forward. Fall of Shiganshina. The plot of Attack on Titan begins here, transforming into the colossal Titan. Berthold breaks down the wall of Shiganshina. Pure Titans pour into the city, among them the former Dean of Fritz, and devour the populace. Eren, Mikasa, and their friend Armin Arlert escape, but Carla is killed by the Dean of Fritz Titan. As the Shiganshina survivors run behind Wall Maria, Ryunur, as the armored Titan, breaks a hole in that wall, forcing all of humanity to retreat behind Wall Rose. Grisha, who'd been away from Shiganshina, learns what happened and attacks the Rias family. Grisha eats Frieda Rias to inherit the founding Titan and kills all the others, barring Rod Rias. Grisha tracks down Eren at a refugee camp and takes him to a remote forest. He gives Eren the key to the basement of their home, which contains proof of the outside world and Grisha's old life in Marley, then injects Eren with Titan spinal fluid, turning his son into a pure Titan. Eren eats Grisha and gains the founding and attack Titans from his father, but blocks out the memory. Rod Rias visits Historia, now his only surviving family, but due to Kenny Ackerman's objections to her illegitimate status, Rias sends her to live among the refugees, now named Crystallens. While in training, the warriors decide to infiltrate Parady's society to find the founding Titan, meaning the next 5 years go by without anyone seeing the Colossal or armored Titans. Ymir also makes her way to Wall Rose and blends in. In 846, the Parady's government sends a doomed expedition to reclaim Wall Maria. The true purpose of the operation is to cull population size down to a level that the remaining food supplies can sustain. During these 5 years, Levi attains a reputation as humanity's greatest soldier. By 850, he's reached the rank of captain and commands his own squad. In 847, the 104th Training Corps begins boot camp under instructor Keith Shadys. The class includes the Shiganshina Trio, the Undercover Marlion Warrior Trio, Historia and Ymir, plus Jean Kirstein, Connie Springer, Sasha Brous, and Marco Brott. The 104th Corps graduates in 850, with most of the main characters ranking in the top 10 of the class and joining the Survey Corps. Uprising. Over the next week, the remaining Titans inside Wall Rose are killed. Hange and Connie realize they were the inhabitants of Regako, Connie's hometown. Meanwhile, Levi takes the remaining 104th Training Corps members as his new squad. The team hides out in a cabin to protect Eren and Historia. The same day as the Stoess battle, Marlion soldiers make landfall in Parady's and turn the village of Regako into pure Titans, who Zeke commands as the Beast Titan. Hange's interrogation of a local minister, Nick, about the Titan in the wall is interrupted when scouts misreport Zeke's Titans as a sign that Wall Rose has been breached. Commander Zacharias is killed by the Beast Titan while his squad rests at the nearby castle Utgard. That night, they're attacked by Titans. The only survivors are Ryunur, Berthold, Krista, and Ymir, thanks to the latter revealing her Titan powers. Historia reveals her true name to Ymir afterward. The Survey Corps arrives from Stoess and brings the Utgard survivors to Wall Rose, where the Garrison Corps reveals there's no breach. Ryunur and Berthold reveal themselves and abduct Eren and Ymir. 5 hours later, the scouts in Garrison, led by Erwin Smith, set out to Wall Maria to rescue the Titan shifters. They succeed in rescuing Eren, but Ymir decides to stay with Ryunur and Berthold. To cut off the scouts' escape, Ryunur throws pure Titans at them, including the Smiling Titan that ate Eren's mother. When Eren attacks the Smiling Titan, he's able to command the other Titans to eat it. Dina Fritz's royal blood triggered the power of the founder in Eren. 40 soldiers from the scouts and Garrison survive and return to Wall Rose, while the shifters continue to Wall Maria. Ymir is shipped back to Marley and devoured by Porco Galliard so he can inherit the Jaw Titan, but leaves behind a letter for Historia with Ryunur.